Hey everybody, it's Shannon. I really didn't want to make this video because I want to try and be positive and put a positive spin on, going through cancer and chemo and all that kind of stuff. And this update is not how I would have liked. So I told myself after I got out of the shower, I just had to sit down and do this. So here it is. 2 Mondays ago, I guess, I went and I started my first round of FOLFIRI. And so it doesn't have the oxaliplatin in it. It has iridocaine or something like that in it instead. And the great news that I had read everywhere and people that I had talked to on Belong and stuff were like, oh my gosh, it's so much easier than Folfox. You'll be so happy. I've been on it for years. There's no problem with it. Bodies metabolize it, really easily, all that kind of stuff. So I was quite happy that, going back onto chemo after being off of it for a long time and having my hair grow back, but now this one has a side effect of you can lose your hair, so we'll see. Anyway, after having been off chemo, to hear that the one that I was going on was easier than the one I had been on before. So I thought, okay, great. This is going to be awesome. And I did the chemo treatment, and the only real side effects I had I went in on Monday for the big infusion, and then I went home with it Tuesday and came back Wednesday to be unhooked. And the only real bad side effect I had was like night sweats. And those aren't fun. So that was like the really bad one. So I really thought, I was like, well, all right, after they had disconnected me, those went away. So I was like, hey, all right, they're right. This is awesome. If that's the worst side effect I have, I can deal with it. But then Thursday came along and it was great. And then Friday hit. Whew. And from Friday until today, so over a week, I have had the worst stomach pains, some diarrhea, but not a lot. I mean, like you could just like take an Imodium and it's nothing. But the pain in my stomach, I cannot even describe to you what that was like. And it got worse and worse and worse. Finally, I figured out that food just was not worth it. It just wasn't worth eating because it hurt so badly. So I stopped eating, I'd say a couple of days in, when I finally figured out that just was not worth it. And that didn't seem to be going away either. Now, all this time, I did take Dilaudid, and all but a couple of days, I want to say maybe it was like Wednesday or Thursday, like I could barely sip water. I knew when it hit my stomach because I immediately had this god-awful pain. So with the exception of that day, the Dilaudid did help, and basically it would, at least take the edge off of the pain, so that I could get through it. But that day was probably the worst. And I told myself if the next day was like that, I was going to have to call the doctor to go in and get fluids because I knew I wasn't drinking enough because it just hurt. It did start getting better as the week went on and I could drink stuff, but I mean, I got down to like 104 pounds. So, this whole time I've been wondering I wonder how people lose so much weight on this. Now I don't, because I managed to lose, I think it was 10 pounds in 10 days on this one. So I finally went back to the doctor and I was supposed to have my next round of chemo this past Monday. Today is Wednesday. So I went in expecting, okay, I'm going to get this. It's going to be it'll be better. And I did recall how whenever I was on FOLFOX that in the beginning, my side effects did change from week to week, from round to round, until they kind of settled down and my body kind of got used to it. So I wasn't really frightened that it was going to happen like that again. I really kind of expected different side effects, to tell you the truth, until my body kind of figured out what it wanted to do on this. But I went in and I told, my oncologist all of my side effects. And he was just like, if we sent you in there now, even if I turned it down, which he said it's up too high, the one drug. And he said most people can metabolize it quite quickly. So it is like in their system and out of their system very quickly. And he said, unfortunately, you metabolize this drug very slowly. So it stays in your body for a really long time. Lucky me. So he said, my advice is we do not do chemo this week, and let your body just heal and, feel better, so that you're not starting off, in a hole, basically, with, already being in pain. Even if the pain's getting better, he just wanted me to be 100% before we tried it again. And he's going to turn, that particular drug down. And we know that that's the one drug that's causing it, because I've been on all the other ones before for quite a few times. So it's not the rest of the regime, the protocol that it is. It's just this one drug. So, and he did explain how it's not, that you want the most of that drug in your system. It's that you want to find the amount where you can have it on a continuous basis, so that I won't have to have this time, it's 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks. So, he made me feel better about that, because I was like, oh my gosh, here I am again, for one reason or another, not being able to have my chemo on time, whatever. And so I do feel better about that. So he's going to lower it down, and we'll see, what my body needs for this particular drug to work, but at the same time for the side effects not to be so bad. Now, this is why I love my oncologist, and I'm sure every other oncologist is like this too, because they deal with cancer patients and advanced cancer patients. So I've had this horrible, stomach pain, and the cancer that's in my arm, it's decided to rear its ugly head again every once in a while. Not nearly like what it was before whenever I had to have radiation, but it definitely, there's pain that comes just on probably 2 or 3 days out of the week. It'll flare up. So this past 2 weeks, I have taken 60 Dilaudid tablets, which are they're not oxy based at all, because that makes me itch all over and I can't stand them, and they're horrible. So I can't take like that type of drug. I have to take a different type of drug. So Dilaudid is on the other end of the spectrum. It's a different type of drug. And really all it was me taking, 2 generally whenever it would wake me up in the morning, stomach cramps. So 2 for that pain. And then at night, when I finally just couldn't take it anymore and needed to go to sleep, 2 then. So, 4 a day. But I have to say that most doctors would never, they would have freaked. They absolutely would have freaked out knowing that I had gone through that prescription in 2 weeks. And they especially would have freaked out whenever, I had put down that it needs to be refilled. But oncologists and, doctors that deal with serious advanced cancer patients understand that there is some god awful pain, and Lord, in order just to make it through, sometimes, you've just got to get rid of it. I told my friend I have a tendency to chase pain, which is not good, but I do because I think it'll go away, or I think I can breathe Lamaze, breathe through it or whatever. And all it does is it ends up me 45 minutes later in even more pain, wishing I had just gone ahead and taken the stupid pill to begin with, but, thinking that I could breathe my way through this pain. So I'm trying to get better about that, and I'm trying to figure out, yes, this is really, truly painful, and I don't think it's going to go away on its own. So go ahead and take something now so that you're not, sitting here writhing in pain, and it's worse in 30 minutes when you finally figure out that, no, it's really not going away. But that's about all, I think. So this update wasn't exactly the cheeriest, since basically I've just been in pain for a few weeks now. But today was the first day that I woke up and I didn't have any stomach pain whatsoever, so I'm very excited. And I have managed to gain like 3 pounds, so that's good. But that's about it. So I hope everybody's past few weeks has been better than mine, but you know what, it can't get, well, I guess it could get worse, but it's not going to. I think it's all going to be good from here on out. I'm going to think positively about the next round. I do think the next round will be a lot different since they'll turn it down and all that kind of stuff. So I'm anxious to see what side effects I end up having, with this one. We'll see. They probably won't be bad at all. But anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful week, and be strong and stay positive and have a good day. Bye.